No one's coming to save us. I'm 55 years old and laid off.
My name is Olivia Marino Carlson. I'm 70 years old. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I cannot afford to retire.
Man, I really feel bad for people that's above the age of 50 and cannot retire in this day and age, in this economy, with this economy and how everything is going on right now. Like, I really feel bad for even my mom. Like, she's working. Of course, she's been working at the same place for the last 30 years. And I think that's just kind of how her generation grew up. You know, you want to stay at one spot, be loyal and everything like that. Like, those things are definitely changing in this day and age. But, you know, I definitely feel for the ones that's in their 70s for sure. And you really need support. You really need somebody to take care of you, because you can't afford to retire. And nobody wants to hire you because you're 70 years old. You're a liability, and it kind of sucks, you know. And that's why you have to take advantage of the time that you're working and saving for retirement. Like, I didn't know how important retirement was until I started seeing my grandparents. Still working at 77 years old. They cannot afford to retire. My grandfather basically died working.
I live off of Social Security, which does not pay all my bills. That's why I'm looking for work. My husband was a mechanic. He developed MS. I took care of him until he passed away.
Man, good for her, man. Taking care of your husband, that's what, you know, essentially, that's what love is about. That's what we want to have as humans, right? We want to get married. We want to be with one person and take care of each other until we die, you know. And she was able to fulfill that journey. But right now she's living without her husband, and she at this point, she really needs her husband right now.
I was working retail, lifting boxes. It was very hard. I'm going to the library to use the internet to look for work. I did not think that being 70 would be like this. I'm asking if there's any positions or work positions available here.
We don't have anything open right now, but keep an eye on it.
I put in an application here at Walgreens. I haven't heard back, so I'm going to check to see what's going on.
And that's funny, right? Because we're in the digital or the technology age right now, and where a lot of times, you know, if you're applying for a job, you're applying for it through your smartphone. She's probably applying for it with paper and turning in the application straight to the store. That's just not how things are being done right now.
They don't have an update on my application. The cost of food has gone up. Every time I blink, it goes up. I get better prices here.
So you told us going to be $10.25?
This is where I have a Bible study.
We thank you so much for this evening.
There are times when I do feel like giving up, and coming to this group helps me continue on.
Good. Right.
It's good that she has some type of community. She can go, you know, someplace and be around some other people and, you know, feel a part of something, you know.
Life had other plans for me. After 30 years of giving everything I had to corporate America, my time, my energy, and my intellect, they just let me go. And I didn't have a plan B to fall back on. And the scariest part, I was terrified of starting over at age 55. Think about this. When you've been working for 30 years, you have probably increased your salary. You've increased your benefit package. And to go and start over at 55, no one's ever going to hire you for that. And I just didn't want to work in corporate America anymore. I was tired and burnt out.
Hey everybody, good morning. I haven't been on here in quite a long while, so I'm happy to be back. Wish it was better news. So yesterday I got laid off. What a humbling experience, I have to say. I mean, I've been working in the HR field for over 20 years, right? I'm 55 years old and laid off. Like, I am laid off. Like I woke up this morning like, girl, you need somewhere. You got stuff to do. And I was like, no, you don't. And I was like, so devastated. Like my chest just kind of like sunk in. And I was like, I don't have no job to get up and.
And it's crazy because, again, she's 55 years old. She's in that generation where, hey, stay loyal to one company, be loyal to one company. And they really didn't think about themselves. Like, you have to think about yourself at some point of your career. If you've been at one spot for 30 years, yes, it's all good for that time period. But you have to also wonder, man, what if these people just want a new face, some fresh energy? They can just let me go for no reason. And I truly feel in this day and age of right now, you can't depend on a company or staying at a company for 25, 30 years. That has gone out the window. That has stopped 15, 20 years ago. Like, you can't do that anymore. You can't depend on them to give you a pension and retire you at 62 or 65 or whatever the case may be. You have to have your own business. At some point in time, you have to have a way for you to be self-sufficient. You can't just sit on your hands and just wait for a company to, again, retire you. That's not always going to happen. It's not going to happen no more with this day and age of AI and everything like that.
Go to, like, what am I getting ready to do? And that's a valid question. Like, what am I getting ready to do?
So I'm 50 and I'm more financially broke than I've been at any time in my life, which is very depressing, especially given everything that I've accomplished and been through. It seems like it's all for nothing because I'm back to square one, so to speak. So, doing the workouts and the push-ups and the walks have really helped my mental state. But I noticed that when I start to face the financial reality, I default to old ways of like escaping and being moody and lack of presence and all that. I guess to avoid the feelings of inadequacy and the sadness that comes along with not being able to solve this shit fast.
And that's deep. I think as a man, sometimes you go through that period, like if you have a family, you have some people that's dependent on you and you feel like what you provide may not be enough. You feel like you need to make more in order to be able to do this or take vacations every year or have more kids. You have to double your income, triple your income. You feel like you're never at a good place. Even if you are at a great place, you feel like that place is not good enough. And, it can put you in a mood. You can be around your family and be like, man, I wish I had such and such or this amount of money or this amount of time to be able to do this with my family or buy this for my family. And sometimes, you just have to go through it. It's supposed to me, it motivates me. It motivates me to do things, try things out of the ordinary and provide for my family, give them a better life, So it sucks going through that at the age of 50. At the age of 50, how I see it, you're supposed to be almost at the top of your life, especially financially. You have to be at the top of your life. The things that you have worked for or done in your 20s and your 30s and in your 40s should set you up to where your 50s and 60s, you are literally just spending time with your grandkids, going on vacations, going on cruises. I went on a cruise in January, and there's these people who retire and their life is just going on cruises. They go from cruise ship to cruise ship, going to different countries, experiencing different things. And that's the life that they made for themselves. That's something that I strive for. that's something that everybody needs to strive for. Like, you have to do that to live a great life. If you think it's going to be done for you, it's not going to be done for you. You got to do it yourself for sure.
That's enough. So I guess just sharing this right now helps me not let it define me, if that makes sense, because I'm speaking about it and getting it out. It still sucks. I still feel like crap about it when I can walk in the house and face my family. But these little daily routines are definitely helping me stabilize my mindset and have some moments of clarity so I can figure out how to break through. That's it.
Auntie selling out, please don't judge me. It is very important for you to have some type of plan in place for when you're blessed to grow old. I literally spent Father's Day with an amazing father, and it showed. But I'm going to tell you something. All of you people who are young and you're going through life not being nice, you're going to get paid back when you get older. Here are 3 examples and scenarios of what happens when you don't treat people right. Number 1, if you grow old and you can't afford to live off your SSI, you have no pension and no retirement, it would be up to your children, grandchildren, and great-grands to take care of you. But not if you're not nice. Number 2, if you mess around and don't make good decisions for your 401k, you're going in a home. Number 3, make a plan.
Look.
Man, I've just said this. I literally just said this. If you don't have a plan for your 50s and 60s, just like she said, you going in a home. Your kids gonna put you in a home and they gonna forget about you. Oh, I'm not taking care of grandma. I ain't got enough room. I got too many kids. I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with me and my 3 kids and a husband or a boyfriend. I'm traveling the world. I can't spend time with grandma. I can't be watching grandma all the time. Like, don't put her on me. Right? And it sucks to be that way, but a lot of people can't take care of their grandparents, their elders, because they can barely take care of themselves. And let alone take care of your grandmother or your grandfather or your mom. And you basically it sucks to say this, but you're taking care of them I think you should. As you should, if you can, you should definitely take care of your grandparents and your mom and your dad, but they should have set an example, a standard of what you should do when you become older. Save up, have a 401k, have a plan, have a retirement plan. If you are healthy and, blessed and grateful, you're going to make it to the age of 65. You're going to make it to the age of 70, 75. You're going to be there. And if you're not ready for that, and you don't have any grandkids, or your kids didn't have any kids, you don't have nobody that's going to take care of you, your kids don't want to take care of you, it's going to be a rude awakening. And this is where, a lot of old people, they end up in the homes, forgotten about, and it's sad.
Y'all, I just went today and got my driver's license renewed, my car tags renewed, picked up 2 prescriptions, and got a few groceries. To say that I'm completely broke now is an understatement. So I'm going to have to go home and start selling off my furniture to...
Just got paid. It's Friday night. I'm already broke, but it's alright. Can't go nowhere. My gas is low. It's alright. I get some more.
So I'm the guy who screwed up my retirement by not putting enough money away to retire with dignity. And I say retire with dignity because all I wanted to do was live at the same level I lived at before I retired. And that's having dignity. It's not dignified to turn the thermostat down to 58 degrees. It's not dignified to turn the thermostat air conditioning up to 78, 80 degrees. It's not dignified to eat rice-a-roni more than 5 times a month. It's not dignified to not get in your car and go somewhere just because you want to, or visit relatives to save gas for your car. These are the things that have happened to me over the last 5 years that I'm trying to turn around now, kind of at first in a panic, where every day there's a horrible feeling that you...
And so these should just be great examples of what your life could look like if you're not prepared. He just said that he made a mistake of not putting away enough money. Maybe he was putting away 5%. Maybe he was putting away 10%. Maybe that just was not enough. And now he can't go see his relatives because he's trying to save gas money or save gas, and he eating rice-a-roni, which is probably not good for a man at this age. That's so much sodium in it. It's not beneficial. He's trying to scrape by because he's retired. He want to stay retired. He don't want to go back to work, but he might have to go back to work. And who gonna hire him? Man, you got to get it together, guys. So I'm gonna leave it off right there, man. Stay tuned for more. If you made it this far, man, leave a like for the video, and stay tuned. Peace.